All right, guys, we are on side number 3, and this is lock number 11. And this one is supposedly on the easy side because there's so many locks. But when you take a look at this guy, this is a van lock. It's not van like vehicle, Van Lock Corporation. They make these for gambling machines and soda machines, vending machines, things like that. And these are quite tricky sometimes, and they're also a little bit misleading. If you take a look at this, you're led to believe that these little notches on the outside are actually how you tension the lock, but that's not true. These are simply guides for the key to keep it straight when you turn the key. Only the center part of this brass part is the only part that turns, and it's tensioned by the needles that push down. This is like a tubular lock without the tube. So here are the pins. So when the pins push down inside of here, all 7 of them, then those pins have enough strength to rotate this lock. Now, I picked one of these, several years ago. And the way that you routinely pick these in the field is you cut yourself a slot, like for a screwdriver, right there. You can either use a screwdriver. I think in my video I use the top of the keyway tensioner, and that puts torque on it, and that allows you to pick it. But, that's kind of cheating. And besides, these belong to Lock Picking Lebowski. He asked me not to damage them. So let's try to pick it without cheating. I'm going to have to find some way to tension this. And I think the thing I've always thought about is there's a big open area right here in the center. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this piece of, I think this is 20,000. Yeah, 20,000 feeler gauge. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to thin it down so a little spatula, a little spoon will fit right in the center. I'm going to have a little shaft sticking off. And I'm going to use this very sticky tape. I think it's called VH tape from 3M. Really powerful stuff. So I'm going to apply that to the back of the spoon. I'm going to stick it to the front of this with a little lever, and I believe we got a good chance of being able to torque that. I think we can put enough tension on it to bind those pins and get it picked. So let's give it a shot. All right, guys, here's what I've come up with. I've cut it to fit, and I put the adhesive on the other side, and I think we can apply it right to the center, right there. And that'll give us access to all those pins. So let's peel that off of the back of there and give it a try. I use this tape when I make quads, and sometimes I attach batteries or even the flight controller and stuff. This is very powerful, very sticky stuff. So I've cleaned off the back of this little spoon with brake cleaner. I've also cleaned the face of that lock. And I think if we apply him right about there, push down, I believe that will cause no damage. And maybe not. Well, I don't know. Let's try it. Let's give it a little tension. It's not holding nearly as well as I thought, a lot springier. So let's put a little tension and find out if we've got a binder. The binder may lighten up a little bit. That guy doesn't want to work at all. That's cool. Probably doesn't need to be picked, but none of the rest of these guys are binding. That is the only binder right there. There he goes. Getting hung up. Nobody's binding, guys. All right, this is not working so good. There's just too much springy. He's not putting enough tension on that core. All right, this was a good idea, but it's a failed idea. Maybe it's not such a good idea. All right, tell you what, while I was cutting it, I was using this razor blade to trim that tape off of my spoon tensioner. I got to thinking a razor blade might make a tensioner too. I'm going to grind this razor blade down, and what I think I might do is just cut 2 prongs in it, and I can pick any 2 of these pins, and I can inset it into the hole. Once I get it inside of there, the razor blade material, I think, is thin enough, so let's get him in there. He'd be in there about like, I guess about like that. Oop, get him in the center, Bill. I think he'd be in there about like that. There's still enough room. I think we can fit both the razor blade in there to tension and our 15,000th. I think it's still going to give us enough room. So let me cut a couple of prongs on this guy and see what happens. All right, there we go. It's not pretty, but I did slide it in there to check the spacing. It looks like it will work if I slide it right there. I don't want to go too deep for fear of oversetting the pins, so I just want to get enough in there. Just want to hang it in that hole just deep enough to hold the tension. So let's give it a try here. Let's begin right here. See if we got any binders. I got to go back here and behind the razor blade because the way this is tensioned. All right, this is probably not going to work. All right. I think we're on the right track. I think I probably need to pick pins that are further apart. It'll make it easier to hold the tensioner flat. The problem is it's going to block out view when I try to pick it, but I really don't have a heck of a lot of choice here. So I'm going to shorten this up a lot and then make the pins further apart so I can get opposing pins. Try that. All right, guys, I will tell you right up front, I've already screwed up on this. I managed to pick it one click rotation to the right in about 11 minutes. I have the audio, but I had a brain cramp. I guess I forgot to turn on the video. So you can see it's been rotated one click like all tubular locks. Every time you turn it one click, all the pins with very powerful springs like this one has, pop them back up into position. Except for this guy in the 6 o'clock position. So I had a 7-pin lock, but now that it's turned, apparently this one is no longer active. I mean, when I turn him upside down and pick him up, he comes back up, but when you push him, he just literally falls all the way to the bottom. No spring tension, totally dead pin. All right, I'll also tell you, during the first picking, I discovered that my highly acclaimed custom handmade tool does not work very well. It's so small. It does keep tension, but it's so small, my hand was getting really tired. And I would lose it and drop it, lose the tension, all the pins would pop back up. So I had to do something else, and what that was is I came up with this guy. This is nothing but a commercial shutter lock tensioner, and all I've done is shorten down those prongs. They were about twice as long, so that's half the original length. And I did that so that I wouldn't overset everything. So this is what I managed to pick it one click clockwise with. So I'm going to try it again. Because this is now a dead pin, I'm going to go ahead and put the prong in one of them and put him, I guess, here. And we'll know very quickly, these are very powerful springs. As I said, you've got to keep so much tension on this lock to hold that tensioner in place. It will pop out and the spring will actually throw it out of that side back into my shoulder. So pretty devious. The other thing I've discovered with this during the first picking is it contains security pins. So you're going to probably see me get a false set or 2 or 3 or 11. And once you're in, it's like a trap. There's no feedback whatsoever, especially with heavy tension like this. So let's start here. Okay, good. He's still springy. Come on, I'm going to get the heavier probe. I got so much tension, it's really bound, and I've been bending that 15,000th. I'll take that. He's still springy though. He's caught down there, but he's still springy. All right, the one with the probe was also still springy, so let's find out. He's binding now. Wow, he's really bound. I'm lightening up on the tension. He's either set or overset. Okay, nice click there. Got super heavy tension on this thing. Look at that. All right, what I'm going to do is move to this probe, the 32,000, because I can really put a lot of pressure without bending him. I'm really pushing down hard on these guys. Can't get him in there. He's too fat. All right, I believe I'm probably in one of those traps. I'm going to lighten up. Okay, this one popped back, and it looks like none of the others are popping back, which is really unusual. I'm going to try not to lose it, because I get another crack at this guy because he popped back up. Let's try him first, because I didn't feel him click. Okay, I felt it, and we got a turn on the core. Okay, that one gave me a little click. That's a good thing. So I do have a fault set. And there we go. Okay, it turned one more time. And we still have no open. I wonder if we have 2 dead pins now. Okay, we have a dead pin. This pin is now fully set. And the rest of these guys are still alive. All right, cool. So I may be dealing with now a 5-pin lock. All right, let me rest my hand and we'll be back and try it again. All right, guys, here we go on round 3 of a lock that's turning out to be just a little bit more evil than I had imagined, and I think probably the dude as well. Something I noticed just a second ago, this pin which was frozen previously is now active again, and this one that was working previously is not. So it appears that whatever rotates to this position is a dead pin. So it's still, I think, a 6-pin lock, 7 minus this one. So like I'm guessing that that's what's happening here. All right, I'm going to stick with the plan. We have a pretty good idea now of which ones are deep or semi-deep. And so I'm just going to use 2 of the pins that I've successfully used previously to tension, and that would be these 2 guys. He clicked. He still... There we go. Is that an open? I felt something give. It didn't turn though, but I felt... Oh, I probably just... Ha ha ha! That did not turn, guys. I bet it was open on the second turn and it was just stiff. Okay, so that would be the open. Let's just put it back in there. Yeah. It was already open. Open on the second turn. All right, well, I made my life much harder than it had to be. Wow, look at that. All right, guys, there you go. The van lock. That was a whole several hours worth of frustration. I know that. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal, and dude, I don't think you imagined in your wildest dreams this was going to put up quite as big a fight. Otherwise, I don't think you would have put him on this row. Because this row is definitely just as hard so far as any of the other 2. Thanks, guys. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Oh, well. Snooze, you lose.